Well, welcome to Chesterfield for the start of stage 4, and this really is going to be very, very tough indeed. 123 kilometres, the shortest. It's labelled the Queen stage. It's a tortuous leg with no respite, and this will decide the final destiny of the green jersey. 86 then have rolled away.
Yes, Q, this is going to be a really hard stage today. Although there's obviously the two categorised climbs for the mountain jersey, it's up and down constantly the whole day. The first part of the race is going to be really critical. There's some very hard climbs between 12 and 28 kilometres.
Well, the climb is 1.5 kilometres long, and just look at the damage the climb is doing already. Riders are being sprayed out of the back, but the green jersey is there. She's watching the early moves. She's not going to let anybody slip away unless she is in the group with them. That is if they're dangerous riders. So it's Brand right at the front. It really is a tough, demanding ascent, this one. All forced out of the saddle as they dance on the pedals. And keep an eye out for Brand. She's going to be trying to get those points. And also Longo Borghini is also in there as well. They really have gone off the mark very, very quickly today. In fact, it's going to really put Nui Adoma under pressure, because she's going to have to react to all these moves should she get distanced.
She is, that's right. And I think, as I said earlier, they're going to put everybody, Nui Adoma, under pressure at the beginning of the race, because this is when the race is hardest, really hard climb. And now we can see Wiggle working really hard here to assist Audrey Cordon. That's Elisa Longo Borghini on the front there.
She looks as though she's going to set herself up for the charge to the line, and also there is Brand and Cordon. Yes, Borghini gets over the line first, Brand second, Cordon third. So it means that Brand has just clawed back 1 point on the overall standings in the Queen of the Mountains. There are the places for you. And it looks to me that all the big players are getting involved in this. We're approaching the first sprint of the day at Belper, and they will have covered 50 kilometres when they get there. So these three riders, that's Kirchman, Roy and Gillow, will be the competitors that contest the 3, 2 and 1 second.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see whether they actually contest the sprint, because of course they're not going for the points, and they're quite far back on GC. But you know, if they fancy their chances in the breakaway, then they're going to want those seconds to give them the advantage on the GC.
Something else we observed there as well, Sharon, was the fact that the rain is falling. It's getting a little bit slippy under the wheel, and when they were laying the bikes over, there was a lot of caution being shown. Yeah,
you can see again here, just taking those corners really carefully, because of course if they crash, that's going to be their day over.
Well, these three are not big players in the Iceberg Sprints classification, so it's not going to make any difference to the key riders in that competition. Jolene Dorr is still the leader with 8 points ahead of Archibald and Majorus, who've both got 6. But of course there's always the pride of getting up the road for a few points, but it's the 3 seconds that are important, because on Camper that could be very, very useful indeed. And it looks very much as though Kirchman's going to take it. She does. It was not contested, and Kirchman picked up the 3 seconds ahead of Roy and Gillow. Here are the three now getting very, very close to the top, and this is so encouraging when the road narrows and everybody's cheering. It really does make you put in that extra effort. Right, this is the lunge for the line. Let's have a look who's going to get it. Well, it's Gillow of FDJ, then the 29-year-old Australian that picks up the 6. No threat to the leading contenders in the competition. Well, we said this was going to be an absorbing day's racing, particularly with the severity of the course, and so far it has proved to be. And I'm very impressed with Nui Adoma, the 22-year-old Paul, because she's responded to everything, and she's now dictating the pace of the 5 here.
Yeah, that's right. Of course she has to now. This is her only opportunity to be able to control the race. So she's with the best climbers in the world, and she's taking this race on.
Well, there we are. That's the result confirmed. Gillow over the top first. Go through the rest of the places, and you can see that the 2 contenders for top spot in that competition, Brand and Cordon, didn't take part. And now we can confirm that Cordon is the overall winner of the Skoda Queen of the Mountains. So she's the first classification winner of this year's tour. Now ahead of the 4 is the line in Staveley. 3 seconds for the first, 2 seconds for the second. So there's 4 that are going to be in the shake-up for the valuable seconds here. Remember, there's Majorus, Roy, Kirchman and Gillow. But the time is going to be more useful to Majorus and Kirchman. And already Majorus is setting herself up here for the maximum 3 seconds, and nobody's going to deny her. So on the line, it is 3 seconds to Majorus. So useful time again taken back.
That's right, and it was only Majerus and Kirchman that contested that. I think Sharagillo and Sarah Roy aren't too bothered. They're just more keen on a stage win.
Well, there is the result confirmed, and it's 1:46 the gap now, so there's about 26 kilometres to go to the finish. The chasing group has swelled in numbers, so they can only be about 10 to 15 seconds behind.
That's right. And look, wow, this looks like Leah Kirchman could even be, she's so close to catching these other two riders.
And they're getting very, very close to the finish now. Oh, Sarah Roy just found a spot through on the inside, and it looks like Roy, the Australian, may hold off Majerus here. In fact, she's going away from her. Wow, look at the smile across the face here of Sarah Roy. She's going to make it to the line. This is going to be a great victory for Orica Scott.
Wow.
She punches the air with delight and clinches the stage. And second place was Majerus. Coming over third was Kirchman, and this is going to be the sprint for fourth. He's been led out there by Ayla Cipollini, and it's the former world champion Bastianelli that gets fourth spot over the line.
Well, that was such an incredible finish. You could see the expression on Sarah Roy's face. She looked like she just couldn't believe that she'd won.
Sarah Roy outsprinted Christine Majerus to clinch the win, and Leah Kirchman hung on for third. Marta Bastianelli was the quickest of the chasing bunch, 17 seconds back, and another good finish from Anna Barnes in fifth. The victory on stage 4 of the OVO Energy Women's Tour goes to Orica Scott's Sarah Roy, her greatest career win. It looked like Katarzyna Niewiadoma might lose the race lead today, but she fought hard and stays firmly in charge of the OVO Energy Green jersey. With just the London stage to go, Niewiadoma's advantage of 1:25 looks unassailable. Christine Majerus is second, 11 seconds ahead of Leah Kirchman in third. Ellen van Dijk is just 2 seconds off a podium place, with the Barnes sisters hot on her heels.